Good morning, everybody. My name is Jennifer, and this is my channel where I talk about my weight loss. If you haven't seen me before, I went from 325 pounds down to, as of now, 182 pounds. And my journey through carnivore and as well as using Zepbound GLP-1s. Today, I'm actually going to be talking about another influencer, Amberlynn Reid, and doing a reaction to one of her videos about what she eats in a day. I know on my weight loss journey, I've had a lot of ups, downs, and a lot of experience of what it would take to lose weight. I'm no expert on it, but through a lot of trial and error, I figured out what didn't work for the most part, and what a lot of doctors and stuff had said versus what was real. And in this case, I truly believe people should be on a health journey to get in the best shape, because being significantly overweight, my highest at 325, was hell on my body. And there's people like Amberlynn Reid and Glitter and Lasers that are 500, 600 pounds that think it's okay to be that heavy and pretend to do a weight loss journey but don't actually do it, and then they blame their bodies thinking there's some kind of anomaly and not actually responsible for their own actions. So with no further ado, let's get started with her video.
Hello, welcome to another What I Ate Today video. This is episode 2. So if you guys don't know, based on my new weigh-in, I was doing the no diet. It didn't work for me.
No doubt. No diets don't work for anyone unless you have a natural system like my son, who can eat anything he wants and can't gain weight. But that's another story.
Okay, that's an obvious. I feel like there is a version of Amberlynn where it could work, but it's not her right now. Like,
unless you have multiple personalities, all versions are just you.
No. If you hear my dog eating in the back, sorry about that. But sometimes I go to edit and I'm like, you hear Twinkie either like eating in the back or doing something, and I'm like, what is that noise? And I'm like, oh, that's Twinkie. But like, to just some random person, they're probably like, what is that? Anyways, so instead of doing the no diet, I am counting calories on Noom. I really like Noom because I'm learning a lot of different things, like about the psychology of losing weight.
I did try Noom. Noom's not a bad program, but they are very big on higher carbs and lower proteins. And unfortunately, they tend to feed to a system where it's not congruent to actually losing a significant amount of weight. If you're looking to lose a couple of pounds a week, a pound a week, which for people that are right around 200 or less, only have about 30 to 50 pounds to lose, it can work. But it's not realistic for someone that's 600 pounds like Amberlynn, because it's going to give her a calorie count that's so high that she'll be lucky to lose a pound or so a week.
And foods and this and that and like nutrition, because they have so many mini lessons. I mean, it's stuff that I already know for the most part, but there are things that I am learning, and I like having that support. So
they do teach you a lot about nutrition in some ways, not all of it completely accurate, because I did go through it.
In this What I Ate Today video, I will be showing you guys every single calorie that goes into my mouth. So if I have a meal in front of me,
I believe that,
it means that I have already logged it into Noom. I log my calories into Noom even before I eat. So I actually have today planned. I planned all of my meals last night, already logged my calories to know exactly what I was eating. Sometimes I do this because it helps me. There are times where I can be more structured and actually follow that. And then there are other times where I need to be a little more lenient with myself.
She's been lenient her entire life. She doesn't need to be lenient anymore. She needs to be structured.
So I do have 2 goals that I follow weekly. 2 water bottles a day, coming from someone who never drinks water. And I'm also allowing myself to order takeout 3 times a week.
She should never be eating takeout. She's eaten enough takeout for a lifetime.
So I have not done it yet. My reset starts every Tuesday because those are my weigh-in days. And today is Thursday. Didn't order takeout Tuesday, didn't order takeout Wednesday. Am I gonna order it today? I already know the answer to that because I planned my meals last night, but you guys will see it in a little bit. So I like to edit as I go, and I realize as I'm editing this clip, I forgot to say how many calories that I am allotted for the day. Noom wants you to eat anywhere between 2,600 to 3,400, which is...
At her current weight, about 3,600 calories is where she would be eating just to maintain. So dropping down to 3,400 calories, that, let's say calorie in for calorie out, which is not an argument I'm going to get to, is accurate. That is 1,400 calories a week, which is not even 1 pound. It would take her 3 weeks to lose 1 pound to follow that.
It's kind of hecticana, to be honest, because my body is different. Like, there is multiple reasons for this. I have talked about it ad nauseum. Long story short, your girl like went through menopause. Menopause changes your metabolism so much. It's insane. I also have lipedema, lymphedema, whatever. We don't have to get into it.
Most people that are significantly overweight, obese, have lipedema. I have lipedema. I've still lost a ton of weight, and the only difference is that I will need some help at some point to help get rid of some of it, but that's not an excuse for not losing weight.
Anyways, so I try very hard to stay near the 26, not the 3,400. That freaks me out a little bit. So
It shouldn't freak her out because someone her size, which is like 4'11", 5 foot, should not be eating more than maybe 1,500 calories a day for her body. That's all she really needs. 2,600 is still overdone. I can't even get up to 2,600 calories in a day.
I just wanted to say like what I'm allotted, so we know at the end of the day if I've reached that goal, if I've gone over, etc., etc. All right, let's get into my first meal. All right, you guys, it is time for my first meal. I planned my whole day around.
She planned her whole day around her food in a trash bag, about where it belongs.
So it was last week sometime. I was craving sushi, and so I ordered it from some random place. I made sure to get somewhere that like had a really high rating, because I am really picky when it comes to
She's not picky at all about her food. Her size proves that.
sushi. So here's just like some soy sauce, chopsticks, but I use my fingers, not gonna lie. Yeah, so I'm picky when it comes to my sushi. So I got this place. I was really nervous.
Only because she doesn't eat actual sushi. She eats sweetened treats.
You guys, it is the best sushi I've ever had. So this is a crunchy cali roll. This is 922 calories.
It's not.
I planned my whole day around it. So it is very high calorie. I'm able to eat in moderation and still fit everything into my goal for the day. So excited. Like, look how delicious.
That is not a sushi roll. That is literally just a sugar treat. It is fried. It has avocado, cream cheese, and a crab salad. Not crab salad, and it's not even real crab, it's imitation crab. As well as a couple of sugary sauces. There's yum yum sauce and some other sauce on there, probably an eel sauce, which is all sugar. And then you add the deep fry.
Delicious. Just so you guys can see it a little better, here I'm going to show you guys the inside. It's a little bit of avocado and like this crab salad mixture. It's so good.
In reality, that's probably closer to 1,300 calories, not 900 calories.
That is so delicious. Who else loves ginger? I'm obsessed. So with this, I don't use soy sauce or anything. Like, it's literally that good. So as you can see, it is crispy around the edges because it's lightly fried. Like,
It's not lightly, it's deep fried, period. They don't lightly fry, they don't just stick it in a pan. It's deep fried.
lightly. I've had like actual tempura and like overly fried sushi. Not really a fan of that, but this is just like perfect. It's just a very light fry. It's so good. And I forgot to say, because some people haven't had sushi before. Surprising, I know. All of that stuff right there that you see is rice and also a little bit of seaweed. So I'm gonna go eat this, and I'm gonna be watching on Hulu The Good American. I am obsessed with it. It is so good. There's a new episode that I'm halfway through. It's freaking amazing, just like the sushi. And I forgot to say, I'm having a water with my sushi. So a good way for me to get my water in, I tell myself this is the only thing you can drink before.
We've yet to see her ever drink any water, in all honesty. In my opinion, she shows the bottles, sticks them back in the fridge.
You have anything else, because I am a diet soda girly. So I have to reach my goal before I drink anything else. So here's my first water bottle. All right, you guys, so I just took some trash to the dumpster. Now I'm going to be drinking my second water. All right, you guys, it is time for my next meal. And I'm gonna be having actually leftovers that I made last night. So last night I made cheesy rice, which I have to actually just make right now, but I don't eat rice as leftover. I'm gonna set my phone down so I can actually open this. So I'm gonna make cheesy rice, and then I have leftover broccoli, and then this is just lean ground beef. All right, you guys, my meal is finished. I had this last night, and it's...
If you look at the size of that bowl, it's huge. That is about a cup and a half, 2 cups of cheesy rice, not just rice, but cheesy rice with meat and veggies. I'm not mad about the meal in of itself, but the amount of it, that is so many calories right there, and she doesn't measure anything out. She doesn't take time to use a, measuring cup to make sure she's getting proper quantities. So when she's throwing stuff in there, she's throwing it in as 1 serving when she's eating like 4 servings. I mean, that would be enough for my husband and I for dinner and still have some leftovers.
super satiating. It's a lot of food, and I'm obviously someone that eats... I'm literally using my dress because this bowl is hot. But I'm obviously someone who eats a lot of food. So I'm trying to make my meals bigger, but still fit in my...
It would have been better if she'd had a lot more meat and veggies and a quarter of the rice. That would have been much better for her and more filling for the day.
Calories. So having things like broccoli and lean, because not lean, this would be way more calories. But in total, this is 770. I'm gonna switch hands here because I am left-handed. I'm gonna take a couple bites here. I did put some tapatio on the broccoli. And there is a little bit of onion in the beef, and I seasoned it with pepper, minced garlic, and garlic salt. The rice with the beef, amazing. And then since I'm done with my waters, I'm drinking...
Should never be drinking any sodas at all. Diet or not, sugar-free or not, they have so many other processed crap in it that it's terrible for your system. There is no healthy diet soda out there, in all honesty. Not that I think, everybody should drink only water. Within reason, I think water's probably 90% of your drink you should be drinking, because that's what your body needs. I drink Element. I mean, this is water with 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, and no real anything else. There's no calories, no sugar. Well, okay, 5 calories. It has 5 calories, no sugar, but it's healthy water. And this is my treat. It's sparkling, so it gives you the feeling of soda, but not actually having a soda.
Diet Coke, caffeine free. All right, you guys, this is just strictly for continuity reasons. It is literally the same day. I'm just about to shower, took my hair out of the braid, brushed it. I always brush my hair before I shower. So I just want people to know it is literally the same day.
And if you look at her size, she's been trying to diet and do these weight loss things for years. She never, ever makes progress because she doesn't actually take accountability for how much she's eating. So when she thinks she's eaten, 2,000 calories for the day, she's actually eaten probably 3,500.
So I don't want people to see me in a different outfit and they're like, girl, you're lying. I hate that I even have to do that, but...
Because she's usually lying.
Anyways, I am getting a little hungry, so after my shower, we are gonna have my next meal. So I'll see you guys then. All right, you guys, so I'm out of the shower. We're kind of going backwards today. We're about to have breakfast for dinner. Let's get into it. Super simple, but some of you like watching me cook, so let's go. All right, so first things first, we're gonna have chorizo. It's like a chorizo sausage. So I'm just gonna be cutting it in...
That's processed meat with sugars and stuff in it.
Slices like this. All right, so we have a pan, obviously. Gonna spray some Pam. I swear, every time I...
Pam is trans fats. It is fake oil. It is not good for you in the slightest. It is something that should be avoided. If you really had to use something like that, use an avocado oil, not Pam.
Spray Pam, I'm like, oh no, are they gonna come for me? I literally just watched a vlog today where someone sprayed it on their food. And I don't normally read comments, but I went and read comments. Nobody said anything about it. But when I did it, it was like a whole taboo thing. It was just
It really is a taboo thing. You really should not be putting oils. It should be using regular fats. Wagyu has a great, well, it's not Wagyu. It is a Wagyu, but it's a tallow. And that should be what you're eating with your foods. If you're going to use any kind of grease, oil type thing, it's a natural fat. Avocado oil, they do have a spray for that too. That is probably my second choice if I really had to choose something like that, but I tend to stick to the Wagyu fats because it's much healthier and flavors the food too.
weird. Alright, so I'm just gonna add these. Smells amazing. So this is obviously fully cooked already, like when you get it in the package, but I like to make sure it's cooked. Alright, I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit because we're about to cook some fried eggs. So with the chorizo, I'm gonna make 2 fried eggs. I'm going to be adding pepper, tiniest bit of garlic salt, they're stuck together, they're in love. Ooh, that is perfect. You guys know me, I like my eggs to be brown.
I'd rather see that as some bacon grease. Have some eggs, a steak, some bacon, versus throwing that in that, because all she's doing is ruining her eggs, in all honesty.
Alright, these are perfect. Sometimes I like the yolk runny, sometimes I don't. Alright, so here it is, my 2 fried eggs, my chorizo.
And she uses paper plates and forks when she can because she does not have the energy to go clean her own kitchen and everything. Until recently, all her caregivers, whatever partners, were doing all the work for her because she just doesn't have the energy to do it. And there's no way that's her only meal. That's half the food she had at lunch.
Oh, we have a radish and some carrots. So this is 393 calories in total. I've been loving a raw carrot lately. Look at Twinkie. I'm telling you, radishes are so good. I should have put mustard on the plate. Chorizo. Alright, this bite is for you guys. Wish you could try how amazing this is. You can actually. Just go to the store. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. And I'm gonna be having a Sprite Zero with this meal. Alright, you guys, so it is snack time. I'm gonna be having 2.
And absolutely should not be having snacks. She's had more than enough snacks for a lifetime too.
Of these salami mozzarella thingies. 3 is a serving.
Those are actually good. I do buy them and I do keep them, but I usually keep them for like if we're doing some kind of road trip or if I'm doing something where I can't just stop to eat somewhere. I keep those as my meal, not as a snack.
But I think 2 like is the perfect amount for me. I'm also gonna have some baby carrots. And I just recently discovered these.
And absolutely should not be eating ice cream in the slightest.
So good. Like if you like vanilla and like a hint of coconut, like an ice cream type deal, get this. So it's a frozen cream pop, but it's literally just like ice cream. And this is what it looks like. It is heavenly. So for this snack, it is 297 calories.
And her biggest thing is she's counting calories, but she's not counting how much sugar she's putting in her face. And the sugar is what's going to be killing her, not the calories. You can eat 4,000 calories technically and still lose weight. It just depends on what you're eating. The sugars are what hurts the most. Carbs and sugar help feed cancer too. They are a cancer.
And that is all I'm eating for the rest of the night. I'm going to be having one of these Glacier Freeze Zero Gatorades, ending the night at 2,382 calories.
Truthfully, it's probably closer to about 3,500 calories based on everything she was eating and the fact that she doesn't portion out properly.
Really, just because my tripod's in here, this is where we're gonna do food for thought for this episode. So food for thought is just a way for me to reflect on the choices that I made today. So let's get into it. The last episode, I chose 5 random questions that I did come up with myself, and I realized after doing that video, I have dwindled it down to 3. If you had to improve one thing about today's food intake, what would it be? Honestly, I feel like I did such a good job today. I am happy with every choice I made, but for reflecting purposes, I guess the one thing I would change, I would have gotten just like 1 sushi roll instead of 2.
No, she wouldn't, because she couldn't cut down that much food, and that's her problem.
Was there a moment today that you were about to fall off track, but you stopped yourself? Honestly, no, because I'm eating foods that are genuinely filling me up, leaving me satisfied, so I'm not feeling like, oh my god, I'm gonna overeat.
No, the problem is she's eating a ton of carbs, which are a quick filler. They just don't last long, leaving you to want to eat more. Protein, heavy protein, is what's going to fill you up and leave you full for the entire day rather than just for a couple hours.
Or, uh-oh, I'm gonna fall off track, so I didn't feel that way at all today. Do you consider today a successful day for you? No one else, just you. Why or why not? Absolutely. I stayed under my allotted calories. I allowed myself to have my little takeout meal while also cooking my other meals. I had freaking leftovers. You guys know I'm very weird about leftovers. I drank my water. I just feel like I did a really good job in my opinion. Obviously, as time goes on, I will slowly, get better. But for what it's worth, I am proud of myself. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
As you saw, she's not realistic about what she's trying to do. If she was, she'd be keeping her calorie count way down, and she'd be realistic about measuring her foods and being accurate with them, not just guesstimating on what she's taking and eating. There's no way that her dinner with that much rice and everything was only 700 calories. That was enough for 3 people, in all honesty. So, as it is, she spent years trying to lose weight or whatever, and she's still going to be spending years trying to lose weight as while she keeps stuffing her face full of stuff that is bad for her and then trying to claim it's her body and not her. It's not her body, it is her. So, anyway, thanks for sticking with me through this, and you have a wonderful day.